Think about your thoughts the day after the 9/11 attacks. Do you remember how you felt when the president, George W. Bush, stood at ground zero and said this?
I can hear you, the rest of the world hears you, and the people who knocked these buildings down will hear all of us soon.
How did you feel back then? And how about on this day, nearly 10 years later?
Tonight, I can report to the American people and to the world that the United States has conducted an operation that killed Osama bin Laden, the leader of al-Qaeda, and a terrorist who's responsible for the murder of thousands of innocent men, women, and children.
If you were as relieved and proud to hear President Obama say those words as you were angry and proud when President Bush spoke into that bullhorn, you wouldn't be alone. Osama bin Laden wounded this country in a way that could not fully heal until he was captured or killed. People haven't forgotten that. We haven't forgotten this famous photo from the Situation Room as the raid on bin Laden took place, nor the sacrifices that made this moment possible, nor the work of SEAL Team 6 and our gratitude that they all came home safely. Gratitude for everyone who made their mission possible because it helped heal this horrible wound we all lived with so long. You would think, therefore, that no one would have anything but a kind word for anyone involved with that operation, let alone the admiral who oversaw it all. However, there is an exception. He happens to be Commander-in-Chief. President Trump has a beef with retired Admiral William McRaven, the man in charge of SEAL Team 6 and all special operations at the time. And it really shouldn't be necessary to mention he literally wrote a fundamental textbook on special ops. We shouldn't have to say that he retired a highly decorated commander, nor that he went on to become the highly respected chancellor of the University of Texas system. We shouldn't have to say that he left that job earlier this year to battle chronic leukemia, or that he is widely regarded by Republicans, Democrats, civilians, soldiers, and academics as the opposite of a political animal. We shouldn't have to say any of it, except the President of the United States has made Admiral McRaven a target of his ire.
Bill McRaven, retired admiral, Navy SEAL, 37 years, former head of U.S. Special Operations.
Hillary Clinton fan.
Special Operations.
Excuse me, Hillary Clinton fan.
Who led the operations, commanded the operations that took down Saddam Hussein and that killed Osama bin Laden, says that your sentiment is the greatest threat to democracy in his lifetime.
He's a Hillary Clinton backer and an Obama backer. And frankly,
he was a Navy SEAL.
Wouldn't it have been nice if we got Osama bin Laden a lot sooner than that? Wouldn't it have been nice? You know, think of this. Living in Pakistan, beautifully in Pakistan, in what I guess they considered a nice mansion. I don't know, I've seen nicer.
That's the president this weekend on Fox News. The apparent trigger, Admiral McRaven's criticism of the president's attacks on the press. And okay, we know the president is a counterpuncher. That's what his defenders, and that's how they frame it. But keeping them honest, nothing the president hits back with in this case, if that's what he's doing, has the weight of truth behind it. Just the opposite. His suggestion that Admiral McRaven's special operators were responsible for locating bin Laden? Not true. The CIA and others were. SEAL Team 6 got its orders on the 29th of April 2011. Less than 2 days later, bin Laden was dead. As for his claim that Admiral McRaven is or was, in his words, a Hillary Clinton backer and an Obama backer, well, it's kind of the same thing as saying that the current head of special operations is a Trump backer. Admiral McRaven served during the Obama administration and the Bush administration. He backed neither. Democrats and Republicans who know him know that and have said so. Yet today, the Republican Party tweeted, "Worth noting after recent comments, retired Admiral William McRaven was reportedly on Hillary Clinton's shortlist for vice president in 2016. He's been critical of President Trump even dating back to the 2016 campaign. He's hardly a non-political figure," they say. Well, keeping them honest, part of that is true. Admiral McRaven was briefly mentioned as a running mate for Hillary Clinton. He was also mentioned as a possible national security advisor to President Trump. And again, colleagues of all stripes have praised him as being nonpartisan. So is the president projecting here just a little bit? You can decide for yourself. Does the president project at times? Does he try to diminish in others the kind of qualities that he himself lacks? Well, take a look.
He's not a war hero.
He's a war hero.
He's a war hero.
5.5 years.
He's a war hero because he was captured. I like people that weren't captured, okay? I hate to tell you.
The president has also mocked Gold Star parents, and today he seemed to say that none of what those parents' child died for, none of the risks that SEAL Team 6 took, none of the fighting, none of the dying would have been necessary if the country had only listened to him. Listen to what he tweeted today. Of course, we should have captured Osama bin Laden long before we did. I pointed him out in my book just before the attack on the World Trade Center. President Clinton famously missed his shot. We paid Pakistan billions of dollars and they never told us he was living there. Fools. He seems to be saying he warned us all, but no one listened. Think about that as you remember how you felt on 9/11. Read the book, he says, then you'll see. Well, keeping them honest, we did read the book. It's called The America We Deserve, and here's the passage in question. One day, we're told that a shadowy figure with no fixed address named Osama bin Laden is public enemy number 1, and U.S. jet fighters lay waste to his camp in Afghanistan. He escapes back under some rock, and a few news cycles later, it's on to a new enemy and new crisis. That's all. That's it. Not exactly Paul Revere's midnight ride, not even Mr. Toad's wild ride.